Hi everyone, this is Lori again, the crafter in the mitten, and I thought I would start a little series with making homemade ephemera, or do-it-yourself, or DIY ephemera, whatever you'd like to call it. So I thought it might be kind of fun, a little challenging. So if you watched my video about making a pocket watch for a greeting card, then that idea inspired this idea. So what I thought I would do is make a bunch of little pocket watches or maybe just little clocks. So this is what we're going to do. So all this was I cut out from a piece of Tim Holtz paper, which came from this particular paper pad. Let me bring that over here. Tim Holtz paper stash. He did announce that he's not making this size of paper pads any longer, but you still may be able to find it. But you don't have to necessarily be using this pad. You can use any paper that you find little clocks on if you want to make pocket watches or little clocks. Or you can just take this idea and use it for something else. It doesn't necessarily have to be clocks. It could be a compass. It can be anything really. But yeah, this whole paper pad here, there's all kinds of ideas. So anyway, so this is what I'm going to do with this one. And there was also a sheet with just clocks on it. And I fussy cutted these clocks here. But I won't be using them in this necessarily. Except for one of these clocks like this and this one. They inspired a couple ideas. I'm going to set those aside just when I get to that part. I will show you my idea those inspired. So what I did is I cut a bunch of circles out from dies. These are two different kinds of craft paper. I don't have a paper punch, a round one this size. I only have like one round punch, which I got not very long ago, a couple 3 months ago. It's only an inch one. But I do have these tattered lace circle dies. So I use these instead. And I just use scrap paper. That's why there's two different types of craft paper here, which it doesn't matter for this project. It doesn't even have to be craft paper. It can be just white paper, black paper, or any paper you just happen to have. It doesn't matter. So, but I wanted my pocket watches to be metallic-y looking, like a gold watch you might carry in a pocket. And I thought, well, for this one, which is the same coloring that I used for that card, I use the Sizzix luster wax. But when I was doing that, thinking, well, not everybody may have the luster wax. They might not want to run out and buy it, so you don't need to go out and buy anything for this project. Just use what you have. I'm a firm believer in that. So I thought, well, what else could I use that someone might have? So I have this metallic big marker. And this metallic big marker worked pretty well. It used it for this one here. So that was this one. And this was the luster wax. And then I thought, well, if you don't even have metallic, well, a lot of us might have distress crayons. So I used these two crayons and colored this in. And then I took this paintbrush, got a little bit of water on it, and blended it. And I know it's kind of a weird brownish green color, but some of these faces are colored like this. But when you put it like that, it looks pretty good actually. So I thought that would be a good alternative. And then I have a silver marker. I thought, well, if you don't have gold, it doesn't have to be a gold watch. And I took a brown marker, just brown and this silver. And I also have some Sharpies. I haven't tried the Sharpies yet, green and brown, but I don't see why they wouldn't work. Oh yeah, and I have this other brown marker. I believe I used these two right here. Anyway, so what I did is I just scratch colored. You can see it's kind of a little choppy looking. I thought, oh man, that's ugly. But when you put a face on it, it just kind of reminds me of maybe a pocket watch that got scratched up around the edges. So it does actually work. It doesn't look good there, but by the time you put the face on it, I think it'll be good. It'll be fine. So I just want to give you some alternative ideas on how to color the back paper for the watch. All right. So then I just have circles. I don't have a die that's pocket watch shaped. So, but I do have this die, which is a bunch of latches. And I show this also in that video of making a masculine birthday card, because I was looking at this part and that part, the holes. So instead of using a whole sheet of paper and just keep cutting all these latches out, because that's what it is, they're latches. Well, what I did was I literally took a stack of scrap papers like this. The scraps like here from the circles actually, and I just cut them however, and then I literally took about 4 or 5 layers and then just taped them over the holes, like the square, the more oblong ones I put here, but I layered them, and then here I just literally put just scraps because it doesn't matter because I'm going to be cutting it anyway. So I don't know if you can see the details of this die, but anyway, in other words, use what you have. You might not even have a die at all. You might have a Cricut. So you might even find SVG file that's shaped like a pocket watch, or maybe a latch or something with a hole in it like that. Or I could even created my own. But I didn't want to get into all that because not everybody has that skill set or wants to go all that way to do that, and it's time consuming. I just want, like I said, use what you have. I mean, you can always draw out a little pocket watch shape. Now, say you don't have a die or a punch. Well, another good alternative to that is a jar lid. I use this jar lid. Put this on a piece of paper. Draw out your circle because it's pretty good, you know, close, similar size. See, it would work well. And then maybe draw that out, and then draw a little part, you know, with a hole in it would be the catch for the watch. And then cut it out and then trace it on a few more pieces of paper, or if you're making more than one. So in other words, just use your imagination, use what you have. I just happen to get what I have. So anyway, here's the little pieces that I cut out. I'm going to move all these pens aside for now. And so you can see how they're all funny shaped. This because they're out of scrap paper. Just scraps that all I was interested in was getting this portion of that die. And then here's that one. That one is really a small part of this particular latch. See, it's just this part here. And then and these are just that part, this part of, you know, part of that. But anyway, so I just want to get those. So I went ahead and colored one of them to match this one. So I'm just going to go ahead and adhere that down. And then I'm going to color some more. So anyway, I'm going to get started on that. I may speed the video up here and there. I might cut a little bit out. I'm just telling you ahead of time what might happen here. So I don't want to have you sit here watching it for 45 minutes being bored out of your mind. The whole idea is just giving you the idea and showing you how I do a few of these. And then anyway, we'll go from there. Oh, and the inspiration for these. Some of these clocks are like this. I thought, well, they don't all have to be pocket watches. And I got thinking about that. So I thought, you know, the latches that the die from these latches, see, there's a piece I cut the full thing out. See how there's some shape like that? I thought, well, I could take this part and glue that behind there. See, and then you got your little stand. So I might do a few like that as well. So anyway, so I hope this is inspirational to you. if you like this type of thing, don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I'm going to do more homemade ephemera. I like part of it. What I really like doing for junk journaling is making the ephemera. That's kind of my favorite part, to be honest with you, is doing all this little nitpicky, I don't know if it's nitpicky, but all this little stuff. That's my favorite part of it. All right, so let's start making some pocket watches and little clocks, and we'll go from here. Oh, and I don't have a particular junk journal in mind or project for any of these. I just like making all types of ephemera pieces, so when I'm making something, if I get inspiration, I'll say, oh yeah, that would be cute if I have a clock for that, or whatever. Or, you know, that's just how I think. My mind just kind of wanders. So anyway, let's get going. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and adhere this little part here down. I do kind of want it rounded. I'll set that aside to let that one dry. And then this is the one I use the crayon on. So I'm going to go ahead and take one of these latches, partial latches. And I'm just going to go ahead and color this pencil, or color this in with a crayon. I'm just kind of dabbing it, and then take some of the brown. This is a darker brown, doesn't matter. And then I take a little bit of water on this paintbrush. I'm just gonna kind of blend it. Maybe a little bit more color on that. I need to clean that glue bottle out a little bit. Set that aside as well. And again, this one, which is not pretty, but it will work. Let me grab this big marker. Oops. A little bit of brown. And I just put some silver in there. And also, you don't absolutely have to color these, and you can just leave them in the craft paper. And just go around and ink them up with distress ink, or yeah, with distress ink. I know that one doesn't look very good, does it? I was thinking the same thing. It's like, oh, but I think once we put like one of these clocks on that have those colors in it, because see how this particular face is kind of like that? I think it'll be all right, actually. It doesn't matter anyway, it's just an ephemera, so it's just something to work in your collages and things like that. And I'll be making some collages with these just to give you some ideas what you can do with these once you have a few created. And then I think what I'll do is after this dries, I'm going to go over it with some distress ink and ink up the edges. I think it will probably be nicer looking than we're thinking it's going to look at the moment. I used to paint ceramics a long, long time ago, and people would say, oh, they'd look at my you know, whatever I was painting, I'd be like, oh, but then they didn't realize that I was going to do some dry brushing or some antiquing or something like that. So it's kind of like just a base. And then here we have the one with the actual luster wax here. So I need to do one of those. So I'm just showing you a variety of ideas here again. Just like I've been saying, just use what you have. I think the prettiest one is this luster wax. If I had to pick a favorite. And the first time I seen a creator use this, and I want to say the name of her channel, I don't know if I could be saying it wrong. I just remember it has the word teal in it. I want to say Tattered and Teal. She does junk journals. I will mention her in her channel name in the comments below. But if you get a chance to view her channel, she's got some really good ideas. I love her aesthetic. She makes her own printables that she sells on her website. She's really fun to watch. At least she is to me. She's fascinating. So just a little plug for her. She's in oh gosh, I think she's in Poland. No, Austria. Barbara's in Austria. Oh my goodness, I watch so many different ladies, and they're all over the world. And I can't think, the person I'm talking about, I can't think of her first name. I will leave her information below, because she's the one that inspired me to try these metallic waxes. And when I first thought about using them, I thought, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna like that, because I'm not really someone that likes the color gold that much usually, but since I've seen the things that she's done with gold, and since I've been playing with it just a little bit, I actually like it. It gives your work a little richness, so I'm really liking it. I have the copper. I call it copper. Some people call it rose gold. I'm not sure which one they call this. They call this rose gold, but it's like a copper. I like copper. I have copper like Jello molds in my kitchen on the wall. My kitchen's kind of done vintage. Imagine that, a junk journal having a vintage kitchen, right? And then this one's the silver. I haven't used this one at all yet. Looks kind of like a pewter. But anyhow, I'm going to be experimenting with those. I'm really getting into how they turn out. So I'm going to go ahead and color up some more. And I might speed this video up for you, or I might just do a handful, because I know it would get really boring watching me do all of these. And so I might speed it up and then show you the next step I'm going to do after that. But let me make a handful of them, and we're going to make a couple of these clocks that I showed you as well. And well, talk to you in a couple of minutes here, and I'll get going and speed this up for you. Alrighty. So I think I'm going to do some of these on my own, maybe show you a picture after everything's done, but I'm going to skip to the next part of what I thought I would do. And I thought what I would do is put in, all right, so I'm going to cut to the next step. I will finish some of these on my own, because I know it would get really boring watching me do the whole thing. And pretty much it's just giving you the idea. So I thought what would be nice would be put these eyelets in, and I've got copper, silver, like shinier brass, and like an antique brass here. Okay. I'm gonna try to get something that matches that. It's kind of I don't think the shiny gold will look good with that. We'll go with this. And for this, I'm just gonna use my crocodile. Okay. So I got the eyelet in there. Put that in my crocodile. Gonna grip it down. There you go. There's an eyelet right there. Oh, it didn't actually sealed it on the end, but I didn't do it the way I wanted it to. And then what I'm going to do is put some type of string through here. Now, this is some sari silk that I thought might work. And you might not have sari silk. I have some eyelet or eyelash yarn, which I don't think would look that good, but I grabbed it anyway. I have some other fibers. So use what you have. I also have this baker's twine, which I probably will end up using, which I used at the card. So anyway, I'm going to go and make a few of these. And this is basic. The idea for that is basically the same. We would take one of these. Maybe I'll go ahead and do that. I've got two sizes of circles here. Some are a little larger. I'll take one of these larger ones. Make a little stand for that. I think that'll be really cute. Leave that on there. And then we'll, maybe I won't color this one. Maybe I'll just go around the edges with that, with the distress ink. Oops, sorry about that. Keep getting off, out of frame, sorry. All right, oops, and then I put that on there wrong. Goodness gracious. I had to put it that way. Okay, so then I'm gonna go ahead and put glue on this. So we have a little stand for this one. Anyway, so I'm going to make a few like that, and a few like pocket watches. And then I'll be back finishing them up with you. Okay, I'm back. So this is how far I've progressed. I'm making these pocket watches and clocks. So I just want to go over how I colored them and what I've done here. There's one I've actually completed, which was this one, which is like a silver. And I'll show you how I achieved these looks and these colors. I don't know if you can tell in the camera, but what I did is I took the silver luster wax, covered the whole thing with the silver luster wax, and then I took a little bit of the gold and just lightly touched the edges, and then come in the back and lightly touch the back. I'm trying to make it look realistic, and I give it a silver eyelet. And then I put this cream colored cord on it because it's the closest I could find that kind of looked nice with it. So this one's complete, like I said, so I'll sit this one to the side. And then for these different cords you're seeing here, I just used what I had. I have had these in my stash for many years, actually. I bought this scrapbooking kit at Sam's Club like in 2008 or, yeah, I think it was like 2008. A long time ago anyway. So that's what these are from. So that's where I got that. And then also I got some, like this piece here came from some sari silk. So this huge bunch of sari silk. It's all, it looks like it's all knotted together. They took strips and they just sewed them together, and I just cut them as I need them off of here. It comes in handy, especially when you want to use them for closures. So anyway, I went ahead and cut some more circles, die cutted some more circles, because like you see at the back of this, you can see where I've glued this piece here, but this I don't care about because this will probably go in some collage work and you won't see the back of this. So I have a few of them that I did that with. These three here, I think. So I made these. This one I did copper. Just copper on the front, like I said. And then this one I did copper and a little bit of brown felt pen. And this one I did the same to get kind of an antique look. So these are completed as well. And this one, the reason I'm showing you is I had a circle I cut and it had a flat spot. I thought, oh, I didn't want to throw it away, so I thought, well, that'll fit in the back of this. So I want to show you this technique. I got this, and then I'm going to show you each particular pocket watches, the technique I got for the coloring of it. So this is kind of like my little mixed media thing here. So first I'm going to take this copper. just a little bit, don't need much, and just paint the copper all over it. Well, actually, take that back. I used felt marker on that. Felt marker and this silver marker. So let me do that. It's not going to hurt that I already got some copper on it. So I'm just going to go ahead and color this in. And I'm not caring about how neat it is or anything like that. Now I take the silver. So I'm just trying to get this kind of like old scratched look, like it's been scratched or whatever. And then I'm going to go over it with this copper. Now it looks awful right now, but usually this will like make it all blend in pretty well. So I'm putting that on lightly, just kind of filling in the spots of the paper that I missed with a marker. This might not be a particular light look that you like. I'm just experimenting, to be honest with you. And I think it turns out pretty well. I don't know if you can see the shininess of it. And it just kind of, you can see it blends with that. I thought it looked good with that front because it just looks like it's just been sitting around somebody's shed or something, basement, and someone's forgot about it. So that one's complete. And then, being I have the copper on, I'm just going to go ahead and finish coloring these. I really like these waxes because they feel dry after you just put them on there. Like immediately they feel dry. And it doesn't take very much either. Just a little. And again, I'm not trying to be perfect because these are supposed to look aged and kind of worn. And I'm going to do more with that here in a moment, but I'm going to get this one. And these, I have some copper colored eyelets. So I put that those on there. And then I happen to have a little bit of this rust colored fiber here. So I put that on there. I'm kind of treating them like a tag in a way. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with these. I don't have a particular journal in mind, but I like making my own ephemera. That way it's not looking like everybody else's. It isn't, you know, and nothing wrong with digiprints. Don't get me wrong, because I use digiprints too. But sometimes I just like making my own pieces. And then I know it's unique. And sometimes I'll drag, like I am right now, dragging a little bit of that copper or whatever color I'm using across the front of that. And I think I did this watch similar to this one, so I'll go ahead and do this one while I have it. So I just use the same things that I have. Up over here. Now, if you don't have any of these waxes, that's fine. You can just color them in without using these. I'm just using them because I have them and I like the look. But this metallic pen, this Bic pen, Bic marking, the metallic in it does pretty well, actually. It's pretty impressive for a felt pen or a marker. There. So now this one is finished as well. So I'll put that over here. And this one I put the sari silk on. And I might trim this a little shorter Because last night I put a dot of glue in there just so it won't come on. Just so it wouldn't come on tight. So I'm going to go ahead and snip that off shorter. All right, so close these up so I don't forget. So now these are just plain copper, so I thought maybe I would take a little of the gold, kind of like I've done with the rest of them. Just take a little tiny bit of gold and just touch it here and there. Just I don't know, give it a more realistic look. Oops, oh, it's okay. You got a little more than I wanted, but that's all right. I'll do the back too. There. Oh, that's pretty. I haven't tried it with different colored paper because I've been just using this craft paper. But I imagine you could use any color cardstock and just, you know, work with what you have. You know, when you color it, it'll be interesting to see how it comes out. All right, so I have these finished as well. So these are all finished. And then now I have this gold watch. And then, so I did mainly gold on this one. So let me do that one. So you can see how it looks. So this one's mainly gold. And I have a little bit of touches of copper on the front. Just a little bit. And I'll show what that looks like here in a moment. Like just a little copper. I want this mainly gold. But I'm trying to age these because the faces look aged. So that's what I'm trying to do. Give it an aged look. And just being on this craft paper gives it kind of an aged look just that all by itself. Because a little bit of that brown bleeds through. Okay, so then what I did here, I just took a little tiny bits of copper. So I'm going to go around the edges. Almost just like when you would put distressed ink on it. In fact, some of them I did that way. And then just barely rubbing that on there. Just a tiny bit, because it, you know, like right there would someone be rubbing it in there, put in and out of their pocket or whatever. Like I said, I'm just trying to age it. Now these turned out interesting. They turned out kind of a green color. And what I did was I took this marker here. It's metallic gold, I think. That's what I used. I don't even remember exactly. Let me try. That's what I did. Yeah. It comes out like kind of a green color. So I'm going to just go ahead and color this pretty well. This pen looks like it wants to, then it's dried up already. I don't know if you can tell that it's greenish looking or not, but I can. It's gold, but it's kind of like a green tinge to it. It's odd. And then I took a tiny bit of the gold. I think I'll take just a little bit of copper. Why not? I'm going to put 3 colors in there. Just like I said, I'm just trying to age it. So I had this, anyway, I had this green cord, so I thought that looked well with it. So that's how this one turned out. That one's finished. And this one did virtually the same way. So a couple of them that way. Oops. My hands are getting gooey. And this one just looks like I just put copper on it, no silver, no gold. That's what I'll do. Doesn't matter, just giving them a different kind of look. I think some of them I actually put distress oxide on. I don't know if that's gonna do any good. Oops. Yeah, it does a little bit. So this is this one. So put that aside. And then we have these 4 here left. All right, it's the gold. Oh, there's another one I did that way. I did 3 of them that way. Anyway, okay, that's right. And then this one, I think this particular color turns out the most interesting. Because it looks green, but it's, I would say, you know how brass, when it gets older, how it patinas? So that's what it looks like. It looks like brass patina. This poor marker is dying already. I haven't had them that long. Well, I have, but I haven't used it that much, I should say. I've had it for a couple of years, actually. Okay, let's give us some gold going here. Yeah, I think, okay, doesn't matter. I think I put a little bit copper. I'll do a little bit, all 3 here. Because I'm not putting a ton of it in there. So that one's finished. Now we're just going to the gold. I believe this is the last one. No, oh my goodness. You can go ahead and fast forward through this if you're bored watching it. It won't hurt my feelings any. I probably won't even know you did it, but I might even fast forward or speed through this too.
I'm kind of using this copper like you would vintage photo line, different pieces of it kind of gives that orange shadow.
Okay, I think those are completed. All right, so let's go through this. So I have these gold ones here. And these, I would say, I would call these like a brass. And we got copper. And this one, I would say, be like a white gold. Or a platinum, maybe. And then these, just to be used in collages. All right, so here's the finished product of making my own ephemera. I would call this mixed media, actually, because there's different kind of pigments on here, and paper and glue and cord. So technically that is mixed media. I love mixed media. Again, I'm always saying junk journals or handmade journals, they're really a form of mixed media. Anyway, if you like this video, please thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, smash the bell if you want to know when I post next. Anyway, I'll see you again. Again, this is Lori, the Crafter in the Middle. Bye.